All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the finals of the Wisconsin Regional Championship. I'm Kyle Sucevich. With me is Jason Klaczynski. Thanks for joining us, Jason.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now we have Adam Vernola versus Casey Smith, two players from Illinois. I know we're both friends with Adam. Do you know much about Casey?
You know, I don't. I'm looking forward to seeing. I haven't even seen any of his games. What have you seen so far? Update me.
He's playing a Garbodor, Landorus, Mewtwo deck, so fairly standard, pretty much like the one I played. So it's going up against Adam's Darkrai deck. Who do you think is going to come out on top here?
You know, I like the side of the Darkrai player, especially in 60 minutes, because when you have the option to junk hunt for catcher over and over.
75?
Are we playing 75 now? Yeah, 60 or 75, I should say. We have the option to just strand that Garbodor active. And it doesn't always work in 30 minutes, because if the Landorus player ends up going ahead on prizes and you get too fancy and try to stick something active, time can just get called and you can lose on time. Yep. But with 75 minutes, we can drag out a long 45, sometimes even 50-minute game. But that Garbodor is eventually going to get stuck, and the Garbodor player either eventually decks or just runs out of energy, and then Darkrai starts attacking and takes the game over.
Yeah, we'll see if it works out like that. We'll see if they're all ready to go. Looks like they're setting
drawing
up.
Their opening hands. Adam's going to mulligan here.
Yep. We'll get a good look at these guys. They are the only two players left here. I believe there were over 200 players in Masters, and now these two are the only ones left. Now, this is not new territory for Adam. He's actually won regionals twice before. Casey, I believe this is his first big tournament experience. So do you think that can factor in at all?
I'm sure he's nervous like anybody would be, but by the finals, ironically, your nerves probably would start to calm down just because you started to play so many games. You know, you're probably nervous in top 8, top 4, and even though the finals are the biggest game, you know, they're all big games in a sense. So playing top 8, top 4 kind of just prepares you for the same thing, and I'm sure your nerves will calm down by the first or second game.
Yeah, you can see both guys are kind of smiling, kind of laughing. So
yeah, Adam isn't exactly an intimidating individual.
Which part? The glasses, is that what makes him not intimidating?
Yeah, I can't picture Adam just staring him down. Casey asking, how many cards in your hand? Adam just gives him the stone wall, just looks right at him, doesn't answer.
Casey laughs at him.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see if Adam gets a basic this time, and nope. He is revealing that he has crushing hammers, though. It's never a good sight if you're on Casey's side. You know, crushing hammers probably the biggest card where your heart stops a little every time it hits the table.
Yep, I'm sure he'll gladly take his extra 2 cards, though. You know, is Casey also playing Mewtwo, Tornadus with his attackers? What else does he have?
I didn't see Tornadus. I think just Mewtwo and Landorus, but the laser in the Verbank.
Now, what do we have opening here with Casey? Did you catch his opener? Is it a Landorus or a Mewtwo or a Trubbish?
I didn't see, but maybe if he draws enough cards, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, there we go.
So we're going to see again. Adam will draw 7.
Here's his 3rd chance at a basic. 3rd time's a charm, right?
We'll see. I mean, this Darkrai deck does only run 9 basic Pokemon, right? 4 Sableye, 4 Darkrai, and a Keldeo.
You know, I don't know if he plays 4 Sableye or not. A lot of people get lazy sometimes and play 3.
All right, we'll find out then.
He's got at least 8.
Here's the all-important flip.
Oh, just fell off the table.
I like how Adam has covered up the Top Cut Central mat with his own. He's got to show off his Darkrai mat.
Right, so what do we have here? Adam's first with the Darkrai to Casey's Mewtwo. I see a Juniper and 1 energy in Adam's hand as well as a laser. So you're thinking he's going to Juniper away his only energy?
I mean, you should.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get in the discard pile for Dark Patch. Otherwise, what are you doing with this deck? Like, that's the whole point.
And he does. He Junipers. I think we saw he played the laser and he Junipered away a Dark Energy, a Dark Patch, and a random receiver. Maybe Casey will give us a sneak peek at it.
Yeah, now for most
Crushing
decks,
Hammer in there too.
Yeah, for most decks that would be kind of painful discarding those kind of cards, but the beauty of the Darkrai deck is just you have Sableye, you can get those right back. It's almost a good thing to discard those right away.
Here's an energy search from Adam. An old school energy search. Fossil.
Fossil. Oh, he's discarding another Dark.
There's 2 Dark in there. So he's going to get a Sableye. Do you think he has a Dark Patch or an energy switch to junk on turn 1?
I would assume so. I don't know. I mean, that's your ideal start, getting 2 energy and play turn 1 with the Darkrai deck. If you get Dark Patch, that would be the best case scenario. Energy switch would be okay.
Yeah, Dark Patch or an energy switch. I think I saw Dark Patch, which means we're going to see a really strong turn 1 from Adam.
Yeah. I mean, he also poisoned the Mewtwo with the Hypnotoxic Laser, so pretty much the best start he could hope for.
Yeah, there's no Verbank in play, but, you know, that damage will add up. If Adam ends up junk hunting again, it'll add up to a significant number. Yeah. We might even see, wow, we see a Bicycle here, too. This is quite a turn for Adam. I think he just hit 3 off that Bicycle.
Yep. Now, he did play an Energy Switch, so it was not the Dark Patch.
Yeah.
So still only 1 energy in play. That is a big deal. That probably makes it so he won't get a turn 2 Night Spear.
So in addition to Energy Search, we also had 11 cards drawn this turn for Adam.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Right, he's going to get back the Dark Patch and the Random Receiver, looks like. So as long as he doesn't get Catchered, he should be able to get a Night Spear off. Or unless the Sableye goes down. And it will. So what do you think about this? I mean,
immediate laser and DC, so this is another good start.
Yeah, we have an N as well, so that's nice to play that right before you take the prize. You get the 6 cards and then the 7th from the prize.
Not only that, but you took away Adam's Dark Patch and his Random Receiver, too.
Yeah, now, I mean, Adam's going to be left with no energy in play and a Darkrai active. That's not a good spot to be in as a Darkrai player.
No, that makes it hard to junk hunt on the next turn, which is what he wants to do. And even if Adam is able to pull off a junk hunt here, say he hits a Sableye, an Energy, and an Energy Switch or a Dark Patch, and is able to retreat that Darkrai for Sableye, he's still in danger of just an easy, immediate knockout from a Mewtwo with another Energy. So even though Adam's turn 1 was really strong, Casey's was very strong as well. And whose side are you liking more right now? I got to admit, I like Casey's a lot more.
Definitely. I mean, if Adam can pull off a monster hand with like 2 Dark Patches and an Energy Switch, then maybe he could salvage this. But unless he gets that, I got to say Casey's going to be ahead. The other way he could probably even this out is a Crushing Hammer heads. That would set Casey back.
Now, if you're Casey, are you benching a Trubbish there?
Yeah, I always like to bench 1 Trubbish because if you give up the 1 prize, what difference does it make? Give yourself the option to put down Garbodor if your opponent benches too many Darkrai's or something like that, because Darkrai really relies on that Dark Cloak to give free retreat. It has a 2 retreat cost normally, so if you shut off that ability, you can strand a Darkrai active and really put the hurt on him with something like a laser.
Here's an N from Adam. Now, I guess what I should have asked is, if you're Casey, are you going for Garbodor here?
You might. It depends on the situation. If Adam can't get any more energy in play here, I definitely would. You take away his option to use Junk Hunt because, let's be honest, you're not going to burn 2 to retreat just to Junk Hunt. And then your Sableye's going to get knocked out. What's the point in that?
I suppose the question to ask is, Adam doesn't have many Sableyes right now. There's none in play. He knocked out 1 immediately. So it's going to be hard for him to start junk hunting. But at the same point, Casey looks to be like he's in good shape. So does he even need to bother with Garbodor?
No, I guess not. But it never hurts to put down that Trubbish anyway.
To keep the option open. I like that.
Yeah, it only gives up 1 prize. And all of his attackers are EXs, which give up 2. So if Adam targets down the Trubbish for some reason, then it's kind of a wasted attack.
So it looks like another junk from Adam. What do you think he's going for here? Now, he does have another Dark in that discard pile still, so we'll almost certainly see a Dark Patch as one of his cards.
Definitely.
How about his second card?
It depends on what he has. If he doesn't have a supporter, you got to take that Random Receiver. It'll allow you to get a supporter next turn. Otherwise, I don't know. It'll depend on what's in there. If he doesn't have an energy in his hand, you would take Energy Search maybe. There are a ton of options in there. Energy Switch as well. Dark Patch Energy Switch would probably guarantee a Night Spear. But
looks like he does need a supporter. He took the Random Receiver and the Dark Patch.
Yep. Now, Adam did put down a Verbank, so the poison's going to add up really quickly now on Casey's Mewtwo. We'll see if it makes a difference. But he's going to put down a second Trubbish here. Yeah, there's 50 on the Mewtwo. It took 10 twice, and now 30. I believe it's 50. So
if Adam is able to pull off a Night Spear next turn, if that poison remains, it would be an easy knockout for Darkrai.
Right. So the math's adding up perfectly. We'll see what Casey does. He's going to... Is that an Ultra Ball or a computer? Or it's got to be an Ultra Ball. He's going for the Garbodor.
Now here's what's interesting. He opted to get rid of a laser there, which would have given him the knockout on the Sableye.
Yep. Looks like he's going for an N.
Well, what do you think of that? Would you have lasered there so you didn't need to play another energy on the Mewtwo? I think I'd like to see Casey get an energy on the Landorus, considering that Mewtwo looks like it's going down soon.
Well, I don't know. It's an interesting spot. He's really favoring putting Garbodor out there. I mean, he feels like this is a big deal in this matchup, so he Ultra Balled forward. He discarded two very important cards, the Laser and a Switch. So this could come back to hurt him.
Well, is it not a big spot here if he's able to knock this Sableye out with another energy? What's Adam going to do without Dark Cloak next turn?
Exactly. That's probably what he's thinking of. So we'll see if it pays off. The more conservative play is probably going for the Laser there. He needs to attach to Mewtwo, though, to get a knockout now.
The dilemma Adam's in, as soon as that Sableye goes out, his plan, which was to promote the Darkrai with the energy and try to Dark Patch, potentially twice, maybe with an energy switch or an energy, and then retreat for Night Spear. That option's gone now because of Garbotoxin. That Darkrai that's coming up, there's no way to attack unless Adam has a Tool Scrapper.
Yeah, that, or even he could have a Dark Patch and an energy switch. Looks like
yeah,
Casey,
Dark Patch, energy switch, and energy would be the only way.
Yeah, Casey is not knocking out the Sableye, though. He's just
Very
hitting it
interesting.
for 60. And this could open up Adam's options for an easier Night Spear.
What do you think of that play?
I'm not sure if I like that or not. If you knock out the Sableye, you take another prize.
Yeah, I'm very surprised Casey didn't just take the knockout there. I mean, when I saw him go for the Garbodor, I thought certainly he was going to try to knock the Sableye out because I don't see what Adam can do.
Yeah.
Very interesting that he starts building Landorus here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was all about. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Oh, and Adam's able to get a 3 energy on this Dark right now using Dark Patch. You get a heads on the Landorus as well with the end, so all of a sudden Adam's turn is looking pretty good.
Yeah, he went from my Sableye's going to get knocked out, Casey's going to be up 2 prizes, Dark Cloak shut off, what am I going to do? To, all right, I'm in the lead. Now he's got no energy in play. That turned around pretty quickly. But that can definitely happen with Crushing Hammer, with Dark Patches. You never really know what's coming next with this Darkrai deck.
Now, will Adam get fancy and try another Junk Hunt here? Or is he going to start Night Spearing? What do you think?
I think he's just going to take the Night Spear. I mean, it's a free 2 prizes. Casey's got no energy in play. Just might as well go after. You might have. Casey benched another Trubbish, so you might actually target that down with Night Spear.
Now, if we look at the way the math works, though, say Adam Junk Hunted. Mewtwo goes to 110, X-Balls, then to 140. If Adam has a catcher, he can get the first hit on the Landorus and simultaneously finish off the Mewtwo on the bench.
He could, but looks like he's going for the Night Spear.
So he decides he wants to get rid of that Mewtwo now.
Got a little trigger happy, but he is going to be at 4 prizes. So Night Spear, yeah, he's going to go for the Trubbish too. So at some point he could catch out Garbodor and Laser and take 2 prizes there. That is the danger of benching that second Trubbish.
Are you hitting the Trubbish there for 30 if you're Adam?
I think I would. I mean, that's just such an easy prize to take.
I think I'm hitting the Landorus if I'm Adam. The reason I say that, I see there's a Laser in Adam's hand.
Okay, then you might hit the Landorus.
And if Adam can Night Spear after a Laser, that would put the Landorus at 150 going into Casey's turn. And if Casey attacks, that Landorus is going down as soon as he attacks.
Yeah, I think Adam's in a good position pretty much no matter what. But now that Casey evolves, that Trubbish, that kind of negates Adam's play there. So yeah, hitting the Landorus there seems like the better move.
Well, we'll see if it works out for him.
I guess so. Now Casey, what do you do for him here? I mean, he's gone through at least 1 switch. He's gone through a couple lasers. Those are really your big way to take advantage of Garbodor.
How many switch are in Casey's discard?
I'm not sure, either 1 or 2.
1 or 2. So I wonder if Adam, now we haven't seen, I think we've seen 0 or 1 catcher in the discard for Adam. So that option to bring up that Garbodor, especially with the 2 of them, is looking pretty good for Adam right now. He's got some outs if things start to go downhill.
Yeah, he definitely could. But looks like Casey, he's going to take
other Darkrai.
He's going to take full advantage of his
This
Garbodor.
is where Garbotoxin is going to, there's a 2. Garbotoxin is going to work its wonders right here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is it's gonna do 2 things. It's gonna basically just give him a free knockout on this Darkrai. It's stuck there. He gets to knock out the Sableye with Hammerhead, and if Adam doesn't have a Laser, then Casey can just build up 3 energy on Landorus, just Hammerhead for the knockout, and then it's just a Land's Judgment and the game's over.
Adam's probably wondering, did I have to bench that second Darkrai when I played it down a few turns ago?
Yeah. It could definitely come back to bite you when Garbodor's out there. And that's exactly what's happening. I don't believe Adam plays Tool Scrapper, so we're probably not going to see that come into play. He does have a catcher, so He might have to get desperate here. Now, if you're Adam, what is your plan of attack here? Would you laser the active or catcher a Garbodor?
That's a tough call. I think I might want to just catcher the Garbodor immediately. I want to get another Sableye down, seeing that Casey's got 4 prizes left. I know I can give up another Sableye without it making a difference in the game. You know, Casey's still going to have to knock out 2 Darkrai's.
Right.
So I might just try to catcher the Garbodor and maybe hit him with an N. And if you can catch Casey a turn without a switch, you know, a turn or 2 or 3, that gives you 1 or 2 or 3 junk hunts. And that can just give you all the hammers back you need and max potion if Adam runs it, things like that to just build your way back into the game.
Yeah, definitely. But it looks like Adam opted for the laser instead. He's probably thinking, all right, by the time the active Darkrai gets knocked out, it's going to come back to me. That Landers is going to have 90 on it. And then I can Night Spirit for a knockout.
Yeah, and I don't mind that at all. I like that play too because look at Casey's board. What does he have to attack with right now? He has a Landers with 1 energy. That's all that's standing in the way of Adam mowing through Casey's field of 2 Garbodors.
Yeah, and it looks like he stayed asleep. So that could actually be bad for Adam. He's at 120 damage right now, so it's going to be 150. And then he's going to get knocked out going into Casey's turn.
Yeah. Are you saying that you preferred that it would wake up because you think Casey would take a knockout he shouldn't have that would benefit Adam?
He may have. You never know. But, I mean, it's very tempting to just take the knockout.
I agree with you that Casey, if the Landers is awake, should not attack this turn.
I agree. But whether or not he would have done that is not an option now. So maybe staying asleep is a blessing in disguise. Who knows? But he will bench another Landers here after a Bianca. And we'll see if he wakes up.
Landers stays asleep. How about Adam's Darkrai?
I don't know if that one matters. He's stuck.
That stays asleep as well.
Let's hope for Adam's sake he doesn't try to bench a Keldeo and rush in. Alright, so what do you do now if you're Adam? There are 2 energy on the Landers. It's just 1 fighting away. And you could lose. I mean, you definitely need to put down a Sableye here if you have one.
Yeah. If you're Adam, you can't stop that knockout. So all I'm hoping is to get a Sableye and promote that to take the hit instead of my Darkrai with 3 energy.
That, or try to get a Crushing Hammer, maybe. If you can get a Heads, you can discard the fighting. And, oh, Adam's going to bench another Darkrai. What do you think about that?
I'm not bothering with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, that just becomes a catcher target. As soon as this Darkrai goes down, all Casey has to do to win is take out 1 Darkrai. So if I'm Adam, I'm just holding that Darkrai. I don't want to give Casey another catcher target and just beat me with simple hammerheads.
Yeah. This is a very difficult position for Adam, that's for sure. I mean, it started off kind of well for him. It looked like he was going to be in a good spot, and then Garbodor definitely showing its worth in this matchup. You know, you always think, well, it's just going to get catchered over and over and over, and then, you know, it's going to get stuck. But there are spots like this where just shutting off that Dark Cloak can be all the difference.
Well, you know, whether it gets catchered over and over isn't just a matter of what each player draws, but the approach they take. You know, Adam, when he's choosing to bench his Pokemon in the game, he goes for Darkrai's. If you're going for that Garbodor strategy and catching a Garbodor, you kind of have to go just for Sableye first, because otherwise those Darkrai's get stuck. And then once that Sableye finally locks that Garbodor up there and they don't have a switch, that's when you start to build the Darkrai. But when you go with Darkrai first and then you try to switch mid-game to Sableye and you already have all those Darkrai's out there and they're being catchered, they get stuck and it just doesn't go smoothly.
Yeah. Now Adam decides to catcher up the Garbodor here, and his Darkrai is going to go down.
He's forced to give up 2 prizes as he passes.
Yeah.
I think I actually watched him flip for sleep too unnecessary, which is kind of funny. I guess he wanted to know if that Darkrai woke up before it got knocked out.
And now it's just a case. You have a switch and a fighting. There's fighting.
One of them. You can beat him with a switch.
Uh-oh. And this could be a pretty quick game number 1. And there's the Skyless, as long as he doesn't have like 3 switches prized and 2 cards.
Casey takes
got
game 1.
And there we go. Casey's going to take a pretty convincing game number 1. What do you think about that?
You know, I don't like the approach Adam took to this game, honestly. It didn't seem like Adam entered this game with a game plan in advance. I think Adam approached this with the same generic strategy. Hey, I'm going to junk hunt, I'm going to try to Night Spear, and I'm going to build some Darkrai's. But in reality, when you see that Trubbish come down, and you know Casey's going to try to go for Garbodor now, I think you need to reassess how you're going to play the match, especially when you have a lot of time You know, we're playing 75 minutes. I think Adam needs to bench Sableye first and just go for that lock on the Garbodor. Bring that Garbodor up, catcher it. Sure, Casey's going to switch out of it, get some knockouts. But if you keep junk hunting catcher and you put enough Sableye down, eventually that Garbodor is going to get stuck.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's when Adam needs to use that opening and start powering up Darkrai's, start junk hunting hammers, and just keep reusing hammers, run them out of energy, heal damage with max potion, and eventually you just produce a board that's just overwhelming to Casey. Sure, you're going to give up a bunch of prizes with those initial Sableyes, but you'll eventually come out on top when Casey runs out of switch.
Yeah, it's definitely the wrench that Garbodor throws into the matchup. You can't just bench a bunch of Darkrai's. Normally, you're just used to saying, yeah, I don't care. It's got a free retreat when it's got a Dark on it. I can just retreat it. What's the big deal? But we saw why it's a big deal. His Darkrai got stuck. The laser damage added up. It was perfect. He got knocked out going into Casey's turn. It's definitely something you can't let happen. Yeah, we'll see if Adam takes a different approach this game.
You know, another concern I have for Adam, if he does want to go for that junk hunt approach and try to stick that Garbodor, he's got time to rebound now, too, because he just lost the first game. We probably have a little less than an hour left. And Adam can't win like that twice, realistically. Usually when you go for that early Sableye, junk hunt approach, you're going to fall behind prizes. So if he does that once, you know, wins game 2, there's not going to be enough time to pull it off in game 3.
Yeah. We'll see. We're going to start it for game 2. Adam will go first since he did lose the first game to best 2 out of 3 series. The loser of the first game always gets to choose who goes first in the second game. So we'll see what Adam has here. Looks like he's got a Verbank and some other stuff.
I think it's interesting that he hasn't slapped that Verbank down yet.
Looks like he doesn't
must
have
have
anything.
a supporterless hand, so what he's afraid of is, without a supporter, I don't want to get lasered for 30 myself.
Uh-oh.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, you definitely would not put down the Verbank there. He's just going to confuse Ray for 10 and confuse that Landorus. That could be a big flip, but at the same time, this is very scary. Adam could lose turn 1. We do see an Ultra Ball. I see a Tornadus, so, I mean, all Casey needs is a Mewtwo, a Switch, double colorless laser, and this tournament is over.
That's all he needs.
That's all. He discards an N, so
Well, there's a Mewtwo. So.
he's got a laser in his hand as well. So he's probably going to have a Juniper. And if he hits Switch and double colorless, Casey is our champion. What a way to go out, huh?
I'm sure that's the way he would have wanted to lose.
Here's a
The
Switch.
switch. Oh boy, Adam must be sweating.
There's a laser. Oh boy.
And it's off the tape. Oh, the judge counts it, actually. No, I'm just kidding. All right, and that's the second one. Now, remember, in Wisconsin, the rule is on the third flip, if you don't land on the table, it's tails. Oh, and just barely stays on, so the heads will count.
All right, so he
And the
discards
Mewtwo
his
suddenly
Mewtwo.
gets knocked out. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and it came back.
All right, if he
Here's the
draws a double
Juniper. He needs
colorless,
a double colors to win.
what are we going to see here? Gotta think he plays 4. Trubbish.
I would imagine at this point he doesn't have it. Either that or he's a really bad sport.
Oh. All
Just
right.
a fighting.
So this game will go on. Fortunately, we don't get a turn 1 win. But Adam
All
has
right.
nothing.
Their
so
nerves are getting to him, though. I don't think they could keep the coins on the table. Sableye
Adam-
wakes up.
Adam needs to top deck something here.
What does he get? Oh, wow.
Oh,
This game is not over.
That's
I saw Adam almost jump out of his seat when he drew that Professor Juniper. Tails on a hammer.
if I'm gonna pick a card there to draw, I think that's gonna
Now
be
look
the
at
one.
this. Yes, Adam actually had another Sableye that he opted not to bench next turn. Now, knowing you, I'm sure that made you nervous, but you
Yeah.
could tell what he was thinking. He didn't want to get hammerheaded and give him 2 targets. There's a catcher on the Trubbish. Do you like that?
I don't mind that. I mean, you're gonna force Casey if he
He's
wants to
Junipering
attack.
too. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
want to make it harder to attack? Make him use an energy or a switch?
Yeah, exactly. So
Now,
Adam,
laser can be big here too, because if, say, he doesn't want to retreat that Trubbish, he could pass into a knockout.
there's a laser.
There
So
it is.
go figure. Adam obviously needs to retreat his Sableye here to not be knocked out by poison, since he did put down the Verbank.
Yeah, losing the energy to the retreat is almost irrelevant too, because
Yeah.
it's going to give him another energy Dark Patch. Well, he Ultra Balled 2 Dark away, so
Jeez,
got to be careful.
It's a lot of dark in the discard pile now. He's going to keep that energy on the Sableye, though. That's actually kind of a big deal in terms of having that available to energy switch later. But we'll see if Adam does take a different approach. And I don't know. We'll see. There's 10 on the Sableye right now from the poison from Casey's first turn. The Verbank did just hit the field, so there'll only be 10 on the Sableye, but that could actually end up mattering later on with Hammerheads doing 30.
Right. Well, he wants to retreat, obviously, so he doesn't take 30 and 30 more, going back in his turn and losing that Sableye.
Yeah, so we see a Bicycle and an Energy Search.
Now, why is Adam playing that Energy Search if he can't attach energy this turn?
Just to thin out his deck a little bit, I would think.
Does he want to thin his deck out of things that get energy, though, considering how much energy he's discarded?
Maybe he just doesn't want to junk hunt for anything else. It doesn't hurt to have it in the discard pile, I don't think. Later on in the game, if you draw a bad hand, you could junk hunt for an Energy Search.
Is Adam not retreating the Sableye?
Oh, that could be a big mistake.
He's rummaging through his discard pile in case he gets some free information as a catcher falls out of his hand.
Yeah, that would be a huge mistake if Adam did not retreat.
Looks like Adam might be leaving the Sableye active. Indeed, he junk hunts for a laser and a hammer. So Sableye's going to go up to 40, and I'm not sure why, but Adam decides that he's going to give Casey an easy prize here.
It's kind of an oops moment where he probably knew in his head that I need to retreat and get rid of this poison, but you just kind of, you're thinking about other stuff, you don't realize it.
He had a Darkrai too, so he could have saved the energy too if that was a concern. I'm not sure what Adam was thinking there.
We'll just chalk it up to whoops. I mean, obviously that wasn't intentional. That can happen in tournament play. It's been a long day. These guys have played a lot of matches, so. Oh well, looks like he's going to give up a free Sableye here. Alright, so we'll see what Casey does here. He does have that Trubbish Poison. It's got 30 on it. If he does not move it, it's going to get knocked out. It's going to suffer the same fate as Adam's Sableye. We'll see.
Yeah, if we don't have a retreat or switch here, we're going to have 2 knockouts in between turns.
Looks like he's going to play the fighting down. So.
I would imagine that's for retreating, not garbage collection. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you retreat, though, you can't even attack. But is it better to just not give up the prize?
Well, if he wants to top Adam's play, he could just garbage collection for that energy search and let it get knocked out.
Or you could pass.
Yeah, attach the energy, then pass.
That would one-up Adam, I think.
there.
Anyway, he's going to retreat to the Landorus, so he's going to save it. And, all right, we got Garbodor. That thing is ugly.
Now, and then pass or knockout. Now, think about this. Had Adam not lost that Sableye and Casey just passed there, Adam's got 2 Sableyes as well as a catcher in his hand, and he could bring that Garbodor up immediately. Adam would be in great shape for getting that Garbodor stranded. But Adam lost the Sableye unnecessarily, so that's one less Sableye to junk hunt and stick that Garbodor and try to get it stuck.
Yeah, it definitely is going to change the outcome of this match. But we'll see. He's got another catcher, so looks like Adam might be shifting gears here.
Now, what about the laser here?
I don't know. What do you think about that?
You know, if I'm Adam, I don't even want that thing knocked out. My plan is to just leave that up and not laser it. Just go for crushing hammers and run him out of energy.
Yeah, that seems counterintuitive, but it seems like he's kind of afraid of his Darkrai getting stuck again. He does not want that to happen. Maybe he feels like if he has his Dark Cloak, if he can, you know, rush in when he's poisoned and all that stuff, maybe he'll just come out on top.
True, and that semi-aggressive approach is better for time management. If he just tries to strand that Garbodor there and go for a crushing hammer, junk hunt lock, he's going to use up a lot of time. And then on game 3, he's not going to have that option.
Right.
So if he, you know, can make this game play out faster and go to game 3, he might have enough time to then use that approach in game 3 if the situation came up.
Yeah, fair enough. Seems like Casey's in a vulnerable enough position where this is a good play. I don't know if Casey, did he play a supporter the last turn?
Did he? He did not.
Yeah, so he didn't have a supporter. He just retreated the Trubbish. So he could be in a rough spot, so maybe being aggressive here is the better move. So we're going to see a junk hunt from Adam. Looks like he's going for a crushing hammer and another catcher. So he wants to make sure that Garbodor goes down in this game. Casey will wake up, which I believe is probably the most irrelevant flip we'll see this game.
I would hope so.
Unless he attaches a float stone to his Garbodor, which is not released yet. Then he could retreat.
Now, it's interesting, that first laser that hits the Garbodor changes the math on when the Garbodor would be knocked out by poison.
Yeah.
This would be knocked out in a way that would benefit Casey, where going into his turn, his Garbodor would be knocked out, compared to if it had not taken that original 30 as Trubbish.
Right.
He would pass and go from 90 to 120 for a knockout.
Yeah, if you're Adam, would you consider using Confuse Ray there just to do the 10 to make that
To
work in your
manipulate
favor?
the math?
Or are you just better off taking your 2 items?
I think I definitely might, to be honest. But there's such a high chance that Casey's just going to switch out of it anyway that maybe you just want the cards.
Now,
Especially if he doesn't play a supporter. I mean, what else is going to be in his hand if not a switch?
Yeah, Casey again did not play a supporter. He just played a fighting on his Landorus. For some reason, the Verbank is in the discarded pile now. I don't know what.
Well, we saw Mewtwo go to the discard pile, so it should be no surprise the Verbank disappeared.
Garbodor also does not have a tool on it, so Adam is free to retreat here still. Garbotoxin only works when Garbodor has a tool attached to it, so that's a big deal. Casey has just not gotten anything going this game.
Now, if you're Casey, why did you catch her that Darkrai?
I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to prevent the Night Spear, something like that.
That's true.
Really
If
the
it's
only thing I can
active,
think
it
of.
makes it harder for the dark patch.
Maybe he was just hoping Adam didn't realize there's no tool on there.
Heck, there probably was, and it just got discarded randomly, like half the other cards in the table.
Yeah, who knows? Hopefully they realize that Verbank is still active.
We'll see when they put their poison damage on, if it goes down to 10.
Adam's going to catch up the
Adam
Landorus
changes
now.
his plan now. So Adam's idea was that semi-aggressive approach. He said, I'm going to catch your Garbodor just to slow things down and give me a turn to junk hunt. And the Verbank resurfaces from the discard pile. It's a miracle.
Not only was it
Oh,
put into Casey's,
it ended up in Casey's discard pile, too.
yeah,
That's,
as Adam's Verbank in Casey's discard pile.
wow, I feel like I'm watching David Blaine or something here.
All right, so Adam again is going to go for a junk hunt. What do you think about bringing up the Landers here?
Bringing up the Landorus?
Yeah, he captured it out and lasered.
When I
poisoned
saw that happen, I do like this, actually, because the way the math will work out is he'll take 30 and then 30 more if not switching, and then that puts it in perfect range for Adam to finish with the Night Spear. It would put 90, 150, and the poison would knock it out. So I do like this.
Okay.
And you don't want that Landorus to accumulate too much energy. The last thing you want is to get Land's Judgmented.
Right.
Once you're using Land's Judgment, you're beating Darkrai. It's that simple. So he needs to kind of put Casey on that clock where he doesn't have enough turns to power Land's Judgment and want to KO Darkrai's.
Yeah.
So I do like this play from Adam.
So it looks like Casey top deck an N. So he's going to have a draw card this turn. If you're him, I was going to ask, yeah, you would not attach to the Lander since it is going to get knocked out. He's catching up Darkrai, and he's going to laser it.
Gets a Tails.
Could be big. Got Tails, though, on the sleep flip, so no sleep. But if he can get a tool on that Garbodor here, that damage is going to add up very quickly with the poison, since Adam will not be able to get rid of it.
Yeah, it won't be too bad for Adam, though, because what will end up happening is if there's 30 on it now, and then it'll take 60 to 90. The poison will put 120. After Adam attacks, if it's stuck, it's 150. So, you know, Adam will still be able to promote something after Casey attacks.
Yeah. But, I mean, his only Darkrai with that energy is probably going to go down now.
He'll have to draw some dark patches and prepare a second Darkrai quickly.
So it's a big moment here. Does Casey draw a tool? And looks like no. So this is going to be a big opportunity for Adam to maybe get Keldeo.
And rush in.
Rush in, remove the status, retreat.
Now, once he's benching that Keldeo, that's a liability to Garbotoxin. So does he want to finish off the Garbodor with a Night Spear, probably?
Just take that knockout. You don't even want that thing in play anymore. You don't want to worry about getting locked. But we'll see if Adam can pull it off. See what kind of a hand he drew. He did get a fresh 6 cards. Maybe they aren't good ones, though. Yeah, it does not look very good for Adam.
Oh, he does have a Verbank, which is good in case the active one ends up being discarded randomly.
What do you do now if you're Adam? I mean,
I'm looking at his hand, trying to see if there's an Ultra Ball or a Darkrai in there, and if there's not, that's trouble. You kind of want to junk hunt, but you don't want to miss this opportunity to attack.
The other problem is if you attack, I mean, your Darkrai for sure is going to get knocked out.
I think I'm attacking here, and the reason I am is the 2 prizes might bail us out. If Adam knows his
Well, he's gonna
prizes,
take 3.
especially. Yeah, actually get 3 if he gets the Garbodor, that's correct.
So that'll be a big thing as well.
Yeah, it's tempting to hit that Mewtwo, though.
This is really not a very good spot for Adam anymore. If he's unable to draw another Pokemon, we could see him lose on his, maybe 1-2 turns.
Depending what he would get out of prizes from Night Spear might definitely help him a lot. He does try to go the route. He takes Garbodor, too, so he's going to get 3 prizes here. Let's see if he could get some help. We didn't get a good look at it.
We'll see.
Darkrai goes up to 150 with poison.
Now, Casey could actually win this turn if he has a catcher, Landorus, laser, energy.
Yes, he could.
It's a long shot, but he could win. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, though. We'll see what he plays the Skyla for. He can search for any trainer here.
If he Ultra Balls for a Landorus, that might mean you're right.
That would be a devastating way to lose, that's for sure. But Casey has gone through a lot of catchers, a healthy amount of lasers as well, so he could be running low on these important cards. And Ultra Ball.
Uh-oh.
What's he going to take with this? I don't even know if he has enough cards to pull all that off.
He doesn't. You know, I think I know what Casey's doing, and I don't like it.
Is he going to go for the Trubbish?
I think so. And I think at this point he's better off just trying to just trade knockouts at my EXs versus your EXs. You know, Adam's got 3 prizes left. Casey's got 5 prizes left, but he's about to go down to 3 this turn. And I think, especially look at Adam's board. I mean, he's going to be left with a Sableye with 30. If I'm Casey, I'm thinking I just want to start trading EXs, mine versus yours, and let's see who can knock him out first.
I think Adam drew 2 Darkrai's off his prizes. So he had 2 prized, and he was fortunate enough to get them. So he will have a Darkrai for the following turn. That's obviously very big to, you know, not lose. So a big moment for Adam there. Casey will, well, he could have passed and got the knockout. But the Darkrai does go down, but Adam got another one. We have a Dark Patch. Can he power up a Darkrai?
This is probably the biggest turn of the game, the fact that Adam's able to get a Darkrai now with 2 energy.
Yeah, does he have you need a Dark Patch or an energy switch?
I don't think he even needs it. I think he's content with the Junk Hunt here.
He does have an energy switch if he wants to go for it.
So he does have the option to attack, which I think he should probably take.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Casey's at an odd number of prizes, so
yeah.
If he knocks out the Sableye, it's just 1 more Darkrai. And Adam threatens a win next turn if Casey cannot evolve his
Indeed,
his
he
Trubbish.
does.
So here we go. Here's an energy switch. Just like that, Darkrai is powered up. If you're Adam, you should not bench anything. That would open yourself up to a Garbodor play.
Adam has a bicycle, but he's afraid to bench more Pokemon because he doesn't want to walk into a Garbodor, Tool, and a catcher and have something get stuck active.
Exactly. So this is a big turn for Casey. He does have an Ultra Ball.
So he will be able to evolve that Garbodor as long as he has one that isn't in the prizes.
Yep. So he'll probably survive, live on for the next turn. And, I mean, X-Ball for 80. I mean, it's not bad. He puts a giant cape on the Mewtwo. That's going to allow it to survive a Night Spear.
Yeah, unless Adam can laser it.
That's
he might get saved by that giant cape. That could be big.
That could end up changing this whole game here. I mean, if this Mewtwo can X-Ball twice for 80 and then 100, that can knock out a Darkrai, and maybe Adam really won't have anything left. We see a level ball that fails. Really, the only Pokemon you can grab is Trubbish. I don't think Casey wanted to bench another one here. You already got your Garbodor. No reason to put down a weak Trubbish. That could just be picked off at some point.
I don't think Casey minds getting rid of that Ultra, that level ball.
Yeah, and he's going to Bianca for 5, so just wanted to draw an extra card. He does draw a Rescue Scarf, so that's going to shut off Dark
Toxin
Cloak.
is working, but is it going to be doing anything right now?
I'm not sure.
Maybe
I mean,
not this turn, but
maybe in the future. So we do have that X-Ball for 80. Casey.
now look what happens too if you're Adam. If you pull a Night Spear off here, you put the Mewtwo at 180, which it's still going to be in play because it has 198 points with Giant Cape. And then you can catcher the Garbodor. And if that Garbodor gets stuck, Adam will have a game-winning Night Spear by using Night Spear on the Garbodor and finishing off the Mewtwo EX.
Yep. So it's definitely in reach here for Adam.
And look at this. You got another Darkrai down with 2 energy. That's huge for Adam.
He's got a bicycle that gets into a random receiver, so big play there, but it gets him an N. That's probably not what he wanted to see there.
I mean, as long as he has he plays it. See, now if I'm Adam, I'm actually going to hold that N and let the Darkrai get knocked out and then try to hit Adam to 1, or excuse me, hit Casey to 1 with the N.
Yeah, I think he's trying to just try to draw as many cards as possible, draw his catcher.
Considering he's already played energy, though, and he's probably doesn't want to catch her this turn, I don't see any reason to play the N now.
Yeah.
He's getting 3 cards next turn, regardless.
We'll see if it pays off, though. He's going to draw his 3.
Certainly if he draws another N, it pays off.
Looks like he got a Juniper, so
That's decent too.
and not bad. So we're probably just going to see Night Spear. Mewtwo will survive.
What about a Darkrai? Is there a Darkrai on Adam's list? That would get the knockout right here.
That's true. That would change everything. I gotta say, I'm not quite sure how a Pokemon put on a giant cape gives it extra hit points, but apparently that works.
Crazier things go on in the Pokemon community.
Yeah, I don't know. Alright, we got a Night Spear. Hits the Mewtwo up to 180. Would you hit the Mewtwo here for 30?
Considering I have 3 prizes left, I'm just hitting the Garbodor. But at the same point,
Adam
it's
took his prizes.
Oh yeah, Adam accidentally drew prizes.
Forgot about the giant cape.
Let's see if we need to get a judge involved.
Alright, they're just gonna have him shuffle his prizes. Yeah, fair enough.
As long as he doesn't get a prize penalty, I'm sure he doesn't mind, because the prize penalty would lose him the
Game
game.
Alright, so Casey, he needs a laser or an attachment. Both will allow him to knock out this Darkrai here.
I think Adam's better off hitting the Mewtwo. Once you have 30 on the Garbodor, it's a Night Spear range anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but we'll see if it ends up mattering. This way, if he misses a catcher...
Yeah, that's true. Then he could hit it again for 90. And yeah, that's the safer play, I suppose.
So what's Casey going to do here? He obviously needs to knock out the active. Really doesn't have any other choice here. Looks like he's going to go for that X-Ball for the knockout. And I'm sure we just need to see a catcher and an energy from Adam.
Yeah, Casey's going to be down to 1 prize, but I don't see a realistic way of getting that last prize. I suppose I do that. There is 30 on the Sableye. A double colorless catcher option to finish off the Sableye would be Casey's win condition here.
Yeah, so, if you're Adam, you're going to be crossing your fingers for a catcher if you... he's got that Juniper. It's going to come down to this. Oh,
an N.
What do you think about that?
He has the same option Adam had. He could have held that and end himself to 1, but Garbodor doesn't do too well when it's being N to 1. I'd rather get N to 1 if I'm playing Sableye and I can junk hunt.
Yeah, the only thing I'm questioning is you kind of gave Adam more cards to work with, maybe. I'm not sure if he had 2 or 3 cards. Maybe you gave him a new hand.
Well, if you're Casey, what are you looking for?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a max
here's your
potion?
best chance. Here's your best chance to build a big hand. I don't think he's looking for a max potion for the Garbodor, you mean? Yeah. We haven't seen a max potion from Casey yet, have we?
Yeah, he may not play it. It's a very big card. Adam plays one. I don't know if Casey does or not. If he doesn't, that could come up maybe in the next game. I'm going to assume Adam can pull this one off, but with that N to 3, who knows?
Really all Adam needs is energy to be in good shape. But Casey, on the other hand,
needs a ton.
can just... Oh, no, because he could hit a double colorless and a catcher to finish the Sableye.
Yeah.
And he just got N to 3, and then he gets 2 prizes, too. So his hand is at 5 now. So I see a win condition for Casey here.
Yeah, here we go. What does Adam have here?
Adam needs a catcher and an energy to win this game.
Can he pull it off? He's
There's
got
an
the
energy. He needs a catcher to win. Does Adam have a catcher to take this to 3 games?
Doesn't look like
Does
it.
not look like it.
So Casey's going to have an opportunity to win this match. That giant cape saved this game
Just
for
a
him.
Night Spear. He's going to put probably the Garbodor up to 90. Now that Garbodor can't avoid this. He can't avoid that without healing the Garbodor here.
Yep.
So he needs to win this turn. He needs a double colorless and a catcher to beat Adam.
He has
we
a
see a
chorus.
catcher. We see a catcher.
Uh-oh. If he has the catcher and a chorus for 4.
Rescue Scarf just to thin it.
Wow. It's going to come down to this. There's got to be a couple double colors
I think
left.
he's got another Pokemon in his hand too, doesn't he? So he could colors to 5.
He put down a Landorus, so
He
I don't
doesn't.
think
It's
so.
just 4. Oh,
So
he just put that down. Okay.
This is it.
4. Double colorless to beat Adam.
You draw it, you win. You don't, you lose.
The only other thing that could change the way this game's going to play out is a max potion. If he doesn't get that, it's that simple. It's either hit a double colorless or lose.
His deck is pretty thin.
I think, how many does he have left? Does he have 2 left?
I think
1?
so.
He's got
Adam does not
maybe
cut him.
4.
Here we go.
That's a
1,
miss.
2,
2. It looks like a miss too.
3, 4. And looks like no.
He missed. Adam sighs with relief.
Oh, and the fighting goes down.
Oh, wow, if he has a laser, he could get him.
You know what? Adam needs an energy still. So he needs to be able to
All
retreat.
right, all Adam needs is energy to win, and does he have it?
Oh, he's got it. All right, there we go. Adam Vernola is going to tie this series up.
With a nail biter.
Wow. That's about as close as games get. Adam, he hung in there. He gave up a free Sableye to Casey, but he still ended up winning.
Just a sign of how good he is, perhaps.
Yeah, you know, he felt bad for Casey, and he wanted to even the playing field a little bit, I think. And he's just making us, you know, bite our nails a little bit, just making it more exciting for the audience.
You know, maybe he forgot about that Verbank because it was probably in the discard that turn. You know, that thing was disappearing that game.
This has not been perfect, but it's been exciting, that's for sure. That's all that matters.
So here we are in Game 3. How much time do you think is left? Probably about 20 minutes.
I think there's more than that.
More than that.
Probably at least 30.
At least 30.
I would say there's enough to finish this match for sure.
Okay.
It's 75 minutes, so.
The question I'm getting at is, does Adam have enough time to go for a catcher Garbodor lock and try to strand that Garbodor and just keep reusing crushing hammers if he wanted to?
I don't know. It's something we'll have to find out.
I'm not sure that strategy is even in Adam's arsenal. It didn't look like he was ever really going for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's favoring more of the, you know, I'm going to catch up Garbodor to buy time, and I'm going to set up my Pokemon and, you know, just kind of stock up on some stuff. But really, I'm just buying time so I can just Night Spear and overrun you eventually.
Is that another Sableye from It Is? Yeah, another Sableye from it.
Adam's
now,
not taking any
ironically,
chances
he's
this time.
opting to bench 2 Sableye this time.
Yeah,
or
what
a
do you think
second
about
Sableye. Oh, he's changing his mind.
This is actually,
you know, I mean, you know you're playing, if I'm flipping, I don't like benching it, but if you know you're playing second, you got a higher chance of being turn 1. You also see Casey opening 3 Pokemon, so that means he has more options, so there's a chance that he's more likely. Well, let's look at it this way. If he had more options, would he choose?
I don't know, because obviously benching the other Sableye allows you to get hit by a Landorus, but just a DC and an X-Ball.
No supporter, though.
Yeah.
So is he holding on to a Garbodor and doesn't want to get rid of his hand, or is his hand just bad?
Oh, and a
There's
laser
an immediate
Verbank.
laser Verbank. Tails.
It's pretty much the strongest opening you can hope for these days. Another laser.
That means we can anticipate a supporter from Adam.
That or a bicycle. It's going to attach.
We'll see an N.
And then, what do you think about that? I mean, you know Casey doesn't have anything. Do you like playing the end there?
Well, what else can you do if you're Adam there? I mean, you got to remember too, we don't know Casey's hand is bad for sure. There's a chance that he's sitting on a Garbodor and a Juniper as well.
Right.
So I think if you're Adam, you have to play the N.
Yeah, I agree. It's just one of those unfortunate situations where the only supporter you have is N. Your opponent probably doesn't have a good hand, but what else can you do? His board beats yours. You know, Mewtwo's better than Sableye. At least in straight up attacking. So Adam does play Dark Claw. We see one in his hand.
Yeah, there is one. It just never came up.
Yeah. So what will he do here? I mean, he'll probably end up junk hunting. I mean, you can't. I don't know if you can play the game with 2 lasers and then you discard piles starting from turn 1, right?
Yeah, he would junk on 2 lasers, I would imagine. He's got the Verbank in play too, and Casey doesn't run any other gyms, so those lasers are always going to be poison for 3 each turn. So they're even stronger than usual. Junk hunt for 2 lasers, of course.
Yeah, we've definitely
seen.
Mewtwo
did fall asleep on the second laser. Let's see if it wakes up. And here's his last chance. The third strike 3. Tails. Mewtwo stays asleep.
Yeah, it didn't even matter if we roll off the table. Same result. It should take 30. Hopefully they realize that. But yeah, I think laser certainly has been the card of the tournament. I mean, it's just impacted pretty much every match we've seen. Whether it's just the 30 with Verbank every turn, or sleep flips have been huge as well. This card has been pretty much dominant here. And I mean, we all saw it when it was coming out. We all knew that this card would be very, very good, but it's shown up in pretty much every deck.
Casey plays a rescue Scarf on his Trubbish, and now he's looking through his deck with a Skyla. What do you think he's going to grab?
Oh, looks like a Juniper.
Guess we don't need to speculate.
Doesn't have a supporter, so gonna grab that Juniper for next turn. I'm sure he would have liked to get Garbodor out this turn. It's the most useful when the Darkrai deck has no energy in play. You just take away their option to really do anything offensively for a while.
So can Casey attack this turn? Well, he doesn't have to. He can finish off that Sableye with a laser, so he doesn't mind the Mewtwo staying asleep that much.
Yeah.
As he passes, his Mewtwo stays asleep, but Adam's Sableye is knocked out by the poison.
Gotta love that. Oh, can't attack. I'll just play an item, though. That'll knock you out.
That's not too much like the base set days we remember.
Alright, so there's a Juniper off of the random receiver for Adam. Mewtwo stayed asleep again, but Adam's going to need something here. Otherwise, I don't know, he's going to fall too far behind.
I think we saw a Darkrai in Adam's hand. He was just holding off on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's going to need a Dark Patch or something soon, though.
There's the Dark Claw. Dark Patch.
Yeah, speak of the devil. And now...
He's got 2 lasers, but they're not going to do him any good.
You know, you're actually not allowed to play those when your opponent is asleep in poison, because it'll have no effect.
Let's see if Adam tries, and we'll get a judge to come over.
There's a judge sitting there. I wonder if he knows.
He's probably hoping for it. He looks bored.
We'll see. All right.
Is Adam debating? Did Adam Juniper away the Darkrai?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see Adam's actually adjusting his strategy.
Definitely.
From the first and second game.
Yeah. And that's cool to see. I mean, that's a sign of a good player, you know, adapting to a matchup. You know, within a best 2 out of 3 series, you know. Maybe a lesser player would have just done the same thing over and over and over and then said, why did I lose? But, yeah, Adam's figured it out.
Adam goes for a hammer here. Now, if you're Adam, would you consider holding that crushing hammer? Because not only might Mewtwo stay asleep, but you're going to take that Mewtwo out next turn. So might you want to save those for the Landorus, which is going to be the real threat?
I'm not sure, because this way you discard the DC and maybe your Sableye survives now.
Yeah, you kind of walk into a max potion, though we haven't seen it from Casey by doing that. I think if I'm Adam, I might want to get creative there and hold that crushing hammer. The Mewtwo, in order to knock us out, needs a laser or another energy in addition to waking up. And considering that we're going to probably be able to Night Spear that next turn for a knockout, I think I'm going to go for saving that.
Yeah, but Adam decides to, you know, it looks like he's going to try to kind of hammer Casey out of the game this time.
Which isn't a bad idea, considering Casey has no energy in play right now.
I mean, that's the weakness of these decks that can only attach once per turn. Crouching Hammer and Junk Hunt, you just get back 2 hammers every turn. You know, the odds say if you played 2, it's 50-50 shot. You're probably going to discard 1 every turn. So, hey, it's a formula for success. So we do see a catcher on this Darkrai, and a Love Ball for another Trubbish.
Casey would love to see a Garbodor here because it would make it harder for Adam to retreat. Adam could still, of course, Night Spear if he has a energy switch and an energy.
Yeah, but it's going to be big if Casey... Well, if he had a laser here, it would be even bigger, and a Garbodor. Does he have any of those cards, though? He's going to bench a Tornadus. That's not really a card that does much in this matchup, but he's going to put it down. Juniper's away, 2 Skylas and the Trubbish. And he's going to be crossing his fingers probably for like a switch and energy at the very least.
Yeah, Hammerhead would be alright here. Just get 60 on the Darkrai.
Maybe if he gets a Garbodor and all that stuff.
And a laser, that would be ideal. Oh, here's the Garbodor from a Heavy Ball.
That's big, and I saw a dowsing machine in his hand, so...
What are his options with the dowsing machine right here? Laser?
I'm not sure exactly what he's gone through so far, but if there's a switch in there, that would be big. I don't know if he's played one yet, though. Doesn't look like he has an energy. Which, I mean, that means he can't attack this turn. Adam looks like a genius for the Crushing Hammer play.
Yeah, Adam's still sitting on 2 Crushing Hammers, too. Die off the table, strike 1.
We do see that
2.
laser. That's a big card there with Garbodor out there.
Yeah, the sleep flips are particularly strong with without an option to rush in. You know, Darkrai decks typically don't run switch.
Yep, I don't believe Adam
Adam
does.
can't flip it on the table either.
This is it's a problem that comes up more often than you'd think in tournament play. Just things rolling off the table.
Darkrai has stayed asleep here.
Uh-oh. That's
pretty bad for Adam.
Yeah. I mean, Mewtwo's still taking the damage every turn, so I believe it's up to 120 right now. So maybe we'll see that Mewtwo just, as sad as it is, 170 hit point Pokemon be knocked out by an item.
An item card. Yeah, it might get knocked out as Casey ends his turn, depending what's in his hand.
Yeah. I don't know. Laser for both sides has been very big. But Adam, I mean, he's asleep. I can see he's...
Adam's asleep?
He might be. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Can't see him. But he's got a Juniper. He's figuring out whether or not he wants to play it, and he does not.
Wow, he just passes and stays asleep, too.
Yep.
Mewtwo goes up to 150.
I guess he had catchers, hammers, stuff that you really don't want to get rid of.
That's interesting how he wouldn't catch the Garbodor because he doesn't want the Mewtwo to survive.
Yeah, you don't want to waste that poison.
Yeah, and if Casey switches out of it, that's one less switch. Not now Adam's loving his catcher.
Right. So now Casey's got a dowsing machine. He may have to go for a supporter here. You hate to use it on that, but, you know, that's one of the perks of it. It does get back a supporter. He's discarding an N.
I imagine he's not getting a supporter then.
You would be wrong. He's getting a Skyla.
Skyla. So what item is he looking for that's not in his discard?
Maybe
Max Potion?
Energy Search. Okay. Gets you an energy.
So he didn't want to end there because it looked like Adam's hand was bad. Adam didn't play a supporter.
Right. What do you think about that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't like to waste that dowsing machine when I could have just ended there. I don't want to help Adam, but is his hand really that bad, or is there just nothing he could do? I mean, say Adam had a Juniper there. What's he going to draw? The Darkrai's asleep. He can't rush him.
No.
So I'm not sure Adam's hand necessarily bad. I think Adam might have just held off, knowing there was nothing he could draw.
But on the other side, if you're Casey here, this is a guaranteed attack. You know, getting that energy surge.
You do know Adam has 2 hammers, too, so... I think I'm just using that N if I'm Casey. I don't want to waste my dowsing machine. 2 tails on the hammers, though.
Yeah, but the big thing is it guarantees him an attack.
And Darkrai's still asleep, too.
Yeah, this Darkrai's at 150 damage. It's poisoned. It's going to get knocked out going back into Casey's turn. So he just knows, if I can just attack, I mean, what does Adam do?
Doesn't Casey have a lot of energy left, though, to draw?
Maybe. He's only getting 5 cards. Nah. I guess he's taking the sure thing. This does seem like a very big advantage if you can hammerhead that turn. So, I don't know.
So Adam's going to pass giving up a knockout here.
Yikes. Casey will go down to 3 prizes. He'll get a free shot at a Sableye. Not a pretty spot if you're Adam.
Adam might want to just catch the Garbodor here and start trying to exhaust Casey with switches.
Yep, that's exactly.
That keeps his option open, too, for Junk Hunt later to try to eventually get it stuck. Here's a Juniper. Do we see another hammer?
He's going to go for that. Looks like it. He's going to make it 0 for 3. Yep.
Does not get heads. Still, that fighting remains on the Landorus.
And that's scary. I mean, if that thing can build energy, this game could be over in as short as 2 turns. If Casey has all the right cards. Not too likely, but it's a possibility. More realistically, maybe 3 turns if it can build up to 3 energy. We do see Adam use a laser on this Garbodor. What do you think about that?
Well, he finally got a heads, but probably the least important flip of the game.
Darn, it's asleep.
Again, though, I'm saving that laser for the EXs. I don't care about knocking out that Garbodor. I just want to leave it active, and
yeah,
I'm not playing that if I'm Adam.
Now, the math does work out where if this Garbodor doesn't move, he will get knocked out coming back into Adam's turn, I suppose. Yeah. But we'll see if Casey has another switch.
Which might not be bad. I mean, Adam doesn't have to go for some kind of Garbodor stuck active lock to win. There is the 150 on the Mewtwo, and we haven't seen a max potion from Casey in 3 games.
True.
So, you know, you might see 3 easy prizes right now. You see a Trubbish, too. So if you can knock out those things, all you need to do is deal with that Landorus. The problem is, though, Adam's got 3 tails with his 3 crushing hammers.
Ooh, there's another catcher from Casey.
Ooh, this game is looking really bad for Adam now.
Yeah, man, you gotta wonder what Adam's gonna do. Maybe that's another reason why you would laser that Garbodor there. Maybe knock it out. Give me back my Dark Cloak. I don't know.
Rescue Scarf to his other Trubbish.
And a pass.
No switch for Casey. So he catchered knowing that he doesn't want to give Adam too many junk hunts.
Yeah. And, you know, best case, he could switch and Hammerhead.
Adam decides to get rid of 2 Dark Energy. That surprises me here.
Yeah.
I think if you're Adam, you think, well, man, I got to retreat this Darkrai and pay 2. I might want to save my energy. I don't know what Pokemon he's like. Another Darkrai, too.
Well, I don't know how many catchers Casey's have used so far. So maybe benching that's not too much of a liability here. And he's going to Dark Patch. Maybe he has a Juniper. Okay, so he just wants to get more energy in play, perhaps.
So Adam's not going for a fancy junk hunt lock this game. He's going to still just try to turn it into 2 Darkrai's. What do you think of that?
We'll see if it works out for him. I don't know.
Considering that Sableye is probably going to go down over the course of this game, I think Adam's just better off benching more Sableyes. I don't think building 2 Darkrai's is really going to do much. All Casey will have to do is pull off 1 Lens Judgment to knock out a Darkrai, and then finish off that Sableye either with a catcher or Hammerhead's laser. So I think Adam's better off just trying to turn this into, you know, a bunch of junk hunts, trapping Garbodor active, getting Crushing Hammers back, and running Casey out of energy. But it doesn't look like that's what he's going for.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what can happen with N. Maybe if you end Casey down to 1 at some point, he just one of the cards to get another knockout. It's tough to tell. You really don't know who's going to win here. He didn't have a switch last turn, so if the Garbodor does get knocked out, coming back into Adam's turn, then Adam can catch up the Landers, hit it for 90.
And then also finish off the Mewtwo, puts it in range, and then he could finish it, you know, maybe with another Dragon. Now here's what's interesting. If he's opting to retreat to Sableye, if that's his game plan, why get another Darkrai? Why give Casey more targets to catch her?
Yeah, I suppose.
It looks like Adam's kind of like switching back and forth between his strategies.
Yeah, you can't tell
maybe
what he
I'm
wants
going
to
to
do.
junk hunt. Maybe I'm going to go for a Night Spare. And switching off back and forth, he ends up with the wrong cards in play at the wrong time. Right now, Adam does not want 2 Darkrai's in play.
Yeah, I agree.
He would much rather have a second Sableye since he's going back to Sableye.
So this will be interesting to see what he gets back.
Yes, I think it's interesting he's taking Laser. I think Adam's first choice was going to be Crushing Hammer, maybe Dark Patch, because he's got to get that Darkrai built back up.
He does have a lot of things in the discard pile. 3 lasers are gone. 3
Adam's
hammers.
options are almost limitless right here.
Yeah.
It looks like he's forming a plan as right now. It didn't look like he really thought in advance. He's kind of just looking at his discard pile right now and saying, how can I figure this out? What am I going to do?
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy situation to come out of either.
What do you think of a Dark Patch and Laser?
I definitely think you need a Dark Patch. You do not have enough energy in play.
Do you want to see Adam take a Crushing Hammer there?
Maybe. Maybe he's just trying to get lucky on the laser sleep flip too. Who knows?
How is Adam going to deal with that Lander CX without Crushing Hammer?
Beats me. Maybe he's got a plan.
Maybe it'll fall out of play.
Yep, that's a rule in Wisconsin. If it
Yeah,
falls
if a
off
card
the
falls
table,
off the table, it is considered knocked out, and you will draw 2 prize cards.
I hope everyone knows we're joking. Maybe you're not.
I wouldn't know. You're from Wisconsin. That's your territory.
All right, so see an N from Casey. He's going to draw 3.
Adam
will
gets
draw
6.
6. Jeez, if he just switches and lands judgments for a knockout, I think he wins.
Yeah, I don't see what Adam would do in response to that. He'd have to catch her Garbodor and slowly try to get another Sableye and go for that Hammerlock at that point. At that point, that'd be the only way to win.
Yep.
And it wouldn't be easy.
Giant Cape returns on the
Mewtwo.
Mewtwo. That's a big
Which
card.
helps because it saves it from a 30 on the bench from a Night Spear. Casey's passing, which means he's going to give up the Garbodor knockout.
Yep.
Now, keep in mind, he did get a Rescue Scarf on that other Garbodor, so Garbodor Toxin will remain in effect.
Yeah, that was a pretty big move.
There's a second Sableye, too.
This is going to be really tough for Adam to win from this
I
one.
think so, too. I think Casey will eventually strand Adam by catching a Darkrai, and I don't think Adam's going to be able to get out of it.
So Casey does promote his Mewtwo here with a 150 damage on it. What do you think about that?
I'm not sure what he's thinking. Maybe he knows he can X-Ball. He probably has a double color, so he's thinking, I want to X-Ball Sableye, but I don't want to give the first hit on that Landorus. He knows that Landorus. He wants to save it to get rid of that Darkrai, and I don't think he wants to take any chance of anything happening, like a laser putting it to sleep or something.
Yeah.
He's kind of cherishing that Landorus. He knows that it's the silver bullet right now, and that's going to defeat Adam. He doesn't want to have any chance. And there goes a Sableye from Adam.
Yeah, that's...
I'm not sure what he's thinking here.
That Landorus is his ticket to victory here. Yeah, he discards the Sableye.
I think Adam kind of just sealed his fate by discarding that Sableye. I don't see how he's going to win this without...
Well, the Garbodor is stuck active.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have one switch, he could just... I mean, if this Sableye never gets knocked out, but Casey still has a switch for sure to finish off one Sableye. And after that, that Land's Judgment is almost unpreventable.
Yeah. I think if you add him here, you just go 2 Crushing Hammers here.
Yeah, but I'd love to have him see that second Sableye, because then if that one goes down, he can catch her Garbodor and make Casey need one more switch, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure why he discarded that Sableye there. Maybe he thought he had another one in his deck. Could be prized.
I just don't think that's the route he wants to go to try to win this game. He's trying to win this the old-fashioned, straightforward way. He wants to Night Spear his way to victory.
Yeah,
Maybe he doesn't think he has time to get too creative with Sableye.
That could also be a possibility.
A random receiver and a laser.
Ooh.
Not sure he even needs supporters. I mean,
So
still no
Casey-
Crushing Hammers. I'm not sure what Adam plans to do to deal with that Landorus.
We do see a Colress for 5 cards here. If Casey gets a switch here, he's got to be in a dominant position to win here.
Yeah, Adam could, of course, still catch the Garbodor back to active, and
Yeah, I suppose if Casey runs out of switches, he can deck them out. That's another
it looks
option.
like Casey has more cards than Adam, though.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Well, if you can't junk on it and build a hand to shuffle back in with that, it's certainly a problem.
Yeah. All right, so 5 cards here. These are 5 big ones. He also draws a catcher.
See a catcher, yeah. So if he rips a switch, now the game's just over.
You know, even just catching up that Darkrai with no energy, that's a big play, and he does it.
And this is what I worried about 3 turns ago. We both saw Adam bench that second Darkrai and said, what happens if this gets catcher now? It's just going to get stuck active.
Well, now we know what happens. It's not pretty.
He benches the Landorus. Certainly giving Adam more targets for catcher doesn't mean anything when you have a 3-retreat Garbodor.
So, what's Adam going to do here? I mean, he does not play switch. We haven't seen Tool Scrapper, so I don't think he plays that.
Here's a random receiver. He's probably looking for an N.
Yeah, I don't think he wants a Juniper.
It's going to be really hard to stop this switch from Casey.
Looks like he had about 10 or 11 cards left in his deck. That'd be extremely risky to go for a Juniper here.
It wouldn't be risky. He would lose. He doesn't have enough turns to get 5 prizes.
Yeah. We have a Laser. That's a big card. If Casey cannot remove that Garbodor from the active spot within 2 turns, it's going to get knocked out again. Adam will get another free prize. Who knows?
And again, though, Adam just refuses to deal with that Landorus that's staring him in the face. That Landorus remains on the bench with 3 fighting energy, and much to his dismay, every time he looks down at the board, it's still there. Where he's still looking for a solution to deal with that, and I don't see one in his deck.
Yeah, there's some in his discard pile, though.
Some solutions? There certainly are.
He really needs to kind of just survive the turn. You know, Casey, I think he's probably used all of his catchers at this point. He's got to be close to it.
Right now, if I'm Adam, my concern is I just don't see a plan. I don't see a way to get lucky. I don't see some desperate plan. Juniper, he needs a switch for the game.
Not really the game, but he's got 3 prizes left.
That's true. The Sableye has not been knocked out. That's correct.
But obviously, switch would be big, and he does have one.
He does have one, so we're going to see a knockout here. Now, hold on a second, though. There's no damage on this Darkrai.
Right, so you wouldn't knock him
So
out.
he's not gonna discard 3 fighting
Unless he
energy.
has a
Does he have a laser?
That might be effectively ending the game.
What if Casey just left himself with less cards than Adam now? And if Adam catches the Garbodor, Casey could be out of switch and end up decking.
That could be. Who knows? It depends on how many switches he has left.
Maybe that's Adam's genius plan all along.
Who knows?
A double colorless on the Garbodor, so he's
That's not
preparing
going to work
to-
anymore. Casey's saying, nope, that's not happening to me. I want to win this
He
game.
does have a laser. Oh, no.
He's saying, I'm going to win this game next turn, and you're not going to stop me.
Well, Adam's going to need a catcher. This game's going to be very simple. Adam's going to have to catcher this Garbodor and hope that Casey's out of switches.
Mm-hmm. You can catcher that or the Mewtwo. That's not much better, but force Casey to have a double colorless to get out of it.
Maybe even catcher the Landorus?
Yeah.
Because
you
the
can do
fighting
that
wouldn't
too.
knock out the Sableye. He has a free
Obviously, it's
retreat.
risky because then just 2 hammerheads you end up losing, but
True. If he has 2 catchers, he could catcher Landorus and then catcher something else too to try to exhaust another energy.
so
Yeah,
there
Adam does have a catcher.
puts down a Keldeo.
Yeah, at this point,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't really matter.
Oof. It's going to be a long road ahead for Adam if he wants to come back.
So Adam does catcher the Garbodor. Not sure if Adam has a 4th hammer in his deck. We did see 3. Maybe an enhanced hammer. We haven't seen that either, though, have we?
He does not play an Enhanced Hammer. He told me that. So that's not going to be an option.
Do you believe everything he says, though?
No, but why would he lie about that?
All right. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt this time.
Yeah. If Adam had an N here, maybe he could, buy enough time to junk hunt enough, get enough hammers, stuff like that, but he does not have
Doesn't
an
have an N either. His deck's so low, too.
He cannot
What is
play
it,
a Juniper.
Yeah, he's got about 11 cards, maybe not even.
So it's just going to have to be cross my fingers, junk hunt. You got to think maybe he could have picked a different target and
He
he's
does,
going to go for the Juniper.
What is he looking for? He must have a 4th hammer in the deck?
Jeez, I don't even know.
I feel like I'm watching a poker player on tilt almost. Adam's plans seem to be getting more and more desperate. Now I think his plan consists... I think that laser actually will... Yeah, that laser's actually probably going to end the game.
He can confuse Ray.
To distort the math, yeah. Knowing the way Adams played this match, I don't think he's going to confuse Ray.
He kind of has to. But looks like we got junk hunt.
Looks like Casey prematurely rolled. Was it a Tails for Sleep, too? So that would take away the retreat option.
Oh, yeah, that could be huge.
That could save him, because that
Didn't
gives
think
Adam a
about that.
chance for the hammers now. If you're Adam, I think you have a really easy decision here. It's crushing hammers, because you're trying to deck Casey, but now that you Junipered, now you're going to deck first.
Yeah.
You know,
Takes a
like, if
catcher
you
and
get
a
enough
laser.
cards to end. Yeah, I'm not sure what Adam's trying to do here. I guess now he's going to try to catch your Landorus and laser and hope to keep it asleep. And
Does Casey have a switch?
he does have an energy, I saw, so
But he stayed asleep.
he did. That
So-
that 5 on that die
Laser
kept
strikes
the game
again.
going.
Let's see, he's got 1 switch.
Does that mean you think he's considering a
counting.
Juniper?
Yeah. 2 switch.
Maybe there's 1 left. Casey's
Oh.
thinking, can I Juniper? And
There's 2 left, apparently. Then he just wins.
assuming he plays 4.
Mm-hmm.
So Casey needs to hope his last 2 switches aren't in his 1 prize card.
I'd say he has good odds.
I would say so. Stranger things have happened, though.
There we go. There's Juniper.
Juniper, switch.
Switch.
There
for
it
Landorus,
is.
And there we go. Casey
Casey
Smith.
Smith, Wisconsin regional champion. Congratulations, Casey.
Yeah, he played that series very well, I have to say. I mean, he understood the matchup. His deck did what it was designed to do. He got Garbodor shut off, Darkrai at the right times. Landorus is pretty good.
So where do you think Adam went wrong this game?
There were a couple points, benching too many Darkrai's, stuff like that. It seemed like he was just kind of flip-flopping strategies. He wasn't really focusing on one way to win, but just got to hand it to Casey. He played really well.
Yeah, it seems like Casey's played this match more than once, I would imagine. Darkrai Sableye was very popular here, and he knew all the tricks. He did go for Garbodor, which is a little bit interesting because I've played that matchup before, and I've seen sometimes players will say, you know what, I'm not even going to go for Garbodor in this match. It's not that big to shut off your Russian and Dark Cloak. I don't want my Garbodor to get catchered over and over.
Yeah, and it's very possible that Adam just had never tested that matchup. He didn't know what to do, and I think we saw that in game number 1, where he benched extra Darkrai and stuff like that, and then Garbodor came out, and it was like, whoops, now I'm stuck.
You really saw the power of laser that game, too. I mean, we saw Adam wasn't able to rush in, and we just saw a lot of heads, tails on the sleep, keeping things asleep. Neither player running a gym other than Verbank. So every time we saw laser, we saw 30 damage in between turns, and how quickly that damage adds up.
Yeah, laser's pretty good, I guess. Who knew?
Yeah, right? No surprise there.
Yeah, we have a Garbodor, Landorus, Mewtwo deck taking down this tournament. Did you expect that?
I did not, honestly. You know, we kind of agreed that the most popular deck in this area and maybe everywhere is big basic decks, which are just like Garbodor but without the Garbodor line. And playing all those dead cards certainly puts you in a disadvantage in those kind of matchups. So I am surprised to see that end up taking the tournament down.
Yeah, it looks like whatever happened, he got the right matchups, or just, you know, obviously he played very well. So
he had the same idea you did. I mean, he played a deck very similar to yours. I'm not sure where your differences were. I didn't see Max Potion as his list where I saw on yours, and I certainly would like to see Max Potion in that list. It's very difficult to one-hit KO those big EXs without abilities.
Right, but didn't end up mattering. So
no, it did not.
I think he'll take his trophy. He'll take his free trip to nationals, and he'll be happy with it.
And his $300.
It could be worse. All right, yeah, got anything else to say as we wrap this up?
No, just congratulations to both Adam and Casey. I'm sure they're both excited making it to the finals, and I guess it's Battle Roads next for us.
Yeah, oh boy. All right, thank you, Jason, for joining me. Thanks to Jimmy Ballard for running this whole tournament. This has been a great event. Congrats to Casey and Adam, of course, but Casey is your champion. We're going to sign off here. I'm Kyle Sucevich with Jason Klaczynski, and I guess we'll see you guys at Battle Roads.